Hello and welcome, everybody. This is Elizabeth, and I'm joining this call from Nepal, and Roberta and Amanda are joining from Manila, from the office. And we're just so happy to have you all, so thank you and welcome. Thank you for taking time in your busy schedules. I know that you guys are all busy, and thank you for taking the time to join this web call. This is the second of hopefully many, many to come. One of the reasons that we've embraced this platform is to engage with our donor community and to let you walk along with what we're trying to do, what Project Propel is trying to do, and also to allow time for questions and answers and allow your voice, whether it's input and questions or guidance, what have you. We hope to do this more frequently, especially as we expand and as we're growing as an organization. We'd like to keep you up to speed. So the main purpose of today's call is to update you with our programs, some of the developments that have taken shape, and to also go over our goals and hopes for the future. So I just welcome you all. I'm really happy that we could all connect. We live in a global world, and it means so much that we can connect in this way. The entire call should be not more than about 30 minutes. There's the sound of the bell. I am in Nepal. It shouldn't be more than 30 minutes, and we ask you all to kindly mute your microphone. And some of you are trying to do video. This is an audio call only. And so if you could mute your mics, and then at the time we will open it up for questions and answers and what have you. So thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Roberta Plantak to give us a little bit about our programs.
Just a little update. Our urban barangay gardens are really going strong. Since we talked in March. Actually, we have done a health and lecture, health education, and a lecture series also on environmentalism in a new community, and we are expected and planning to really grow and develop the gardens the way that we have in our current community, in this new community. So that's kind of in the Metro Manila front. We've also put in an art installation and a new garden with 6 new members in Doña Melda, which is our primary barangay where we're working. So that's a new addition. And our gardens are really growing strong. As you can see, there was in these pictures, there was really a big revival. We've had a lot of new members joining, a lot of old members rejoining this year. So we've really seen them become pretty self-sustaining, and we haven't really needed to work too much in the existing gardens because there are people that are really invested at this point, which is kind of the goal. So it's really good. That being said, the portion of environmentalism that we've been really focusing on through the eco bricks, and we've been using them in gardens. We've been collecting them from people in Metro Manila, and again, an eco brick is a plastic pop bottle that's filled with non-biodegradable waste. This has become quite popular in Metro Manila as a way to deal with the really extensive plastic problem that comes from being in such a crowded city, in such an urban city, and in such an area that really relies on sachets, a sachet culture. So we've taken those eco bricks, and this year we also helped create furniture, small furniture in these pictures for a daycare center that had just opened up. So that's going to be used for children around the ages of 4 or 5, and that was really exciting. We probably used, I think this year, maybe about, it's like 2,000 eco bricks, which each eco brick is about 2 kilos of plastic waste. So that really is a ton of plastic waste that we're really trying to keep out of riverways, oceans, drainage in the city of Manila, uh, and just in general from polluting our world. So we're really loving this portion of our programs.
And just to step in there, what some of you may not know, and this is Amanda speaking, is that the Philippines is like the top three plastic consumer and plastic waster in the world. So they contribute, a lot of plastic waste into the ocean. The Pasig River itself is the second highest plastic contributing river into the world's oceans. So yes, Metro Manila especially has a major plastic crisis on hand. And the eco bricks, we try to tell people we need to reduce plastic waste, so we don't incentivize people to make eco bricks. The main goal is to create less plastic waste. So there's a lot of education involved that has to be done.
On the livelihood farms, we have really done quite a bit of review when it comes to that, working with our primary community just outside of Metro Manila in the area of Pampanga. We had to really review our strategy there because we were having some issues with the soil. So we have started planting, or we'll start planting specific crops to, add nutrients into the soil there, and those are peanuts and mongo. So that's a pretty cool new development. Additionally, we do have kind of conversations started and potential partnerships for next year lined up where these farms would actually provide not just an opportunity for health and food security for the village itself, but also financial income, working with local partners to sell their produce in local shops that really focus on providing financial incentives to farmers from indigenous tribes. So that's very cool, and we're really looking forward to seeing that partnership develop and grow. We've also started working in Bicol, which is a province outside of Manila, with a group, and maybe Elizabeth, if you want to talk a little bit about that partnership.
The partnership in Bicol?
Yeah, with the indigenous village.
Yeah, so there's more indigenous tribes in Bicol region, and we have been fortunate to be connected with them, and we met with them the traditional Bihog way. We made a nice meal for the chief and did bonding, and then once we gained entry into that community, we went in with the Sawyer water filters and had someone in the local dialect explain how to use the Sawyer water filters. We had people actually coming up to us afterwards requesting them, mentioning that their child had various problems with unclean water and unsafe water is really an issue in that region. And so that was one of the things that we did, thanks to our partners in California. And the other thing is the Eco Wings. So as you know, the Eco Wings, and Roberta will get into it, is their buy one, give one. And so we are making partners around Metro Manila, but we do give one. And so one of the things that we did is and Roberta did a fantastic job just taking the women aside and doing health hygiene lectures, and they were beyond thrilled to get an Eco Wing. And I can go further, so I've been showing them people in the hall. They get really tickled about them because really it's really just rolled up cloth in this region. So those are some of the involvements with people and the indigenous tribes. I think there's a lot of potential too.
And education has kind of been our gateway into these communities, both in Metro Manila and with the indigenous tribes. Like, we've really tried to maintain that core component of who we are as Project Propel with, the lectures and the discussions and the dialogues and the friendships as we start these partnerships.
Yeah, I think that if you don't mind, everything that we do begins with health education, and that's been a really pertinent conversation. Is we're not going in, and we're really trying to create awareness and create a desire for behavior change through health education, and then we go through the programs, and then we end with sustainability, because ultimately we want communities to take hold of these initiatives and want them to run with them and sustain them.
That being said, our next update is kind of a big thank you, actually. So this year, well, on the kind of more sad side, this year there was a huge fire. So fires and flooding are two of the larger threats to settlement communities in Metro Manila. Anytime there's such a condensed area where people are often cooking with gas and fires, there is the possibility of a fire which could break out and really destroy quite a lot of homes in a very short amount of time. And then, of course, flooding, as you know, last year was a big problem within our communities as well. So this year there was a fire. 140 families lost their homes, and we reached out to our donor community immediately, and we just got such an overwhelming response from our donors and from our supporters, and we really want to thank you for that. We wanted to update you on what we did with those funds and kind of this beautiful moment that happened between our garden members who live in this area and the 29 community, and even the ones that actually did lose their home, and the result from this fire. So immediately Amanda and Elizabeth were able to start getting some of the immediate necessities like these.
Yeah, so what you're seeing in this picture on the lower right are solar home kits. So basically, after a disaster, a community's primary need is safety. So we realized that the power grid had been cut out to this entire community. 140 families lost their homes, but the community is much larger than that. And nobody had electricity for a number of weeks. So immediately, as soon as we got some of the donations in, we went and got these really, these are treasured pieces by these families. There are solar home kits. You can charge your cell phones on them. They have 2 light bulbs that you can attach, and you just charge them through the sun. So these were so appreciated by them. Many of them were in tears, and they were just holding them, to their bodies. So the donations really did make a huge impact at the beginning, in terms of safety of the community.
So that was kind of one of the immediate responses. Another beautiful thing that kind of happened is our garden members actually wanted to start helping. And a very common trend here in Metro Manila is something called feeding programs, which kind of follows that philosophy of providing a meal for one day and then kind of leaving that community. So it's not very sustainable and it's not very long term, but it is like an immediate relief. So our garden members actually wanted to start helping this 140 families. It was about 600 people, like 600 people altogether, by helping with their immediate need of food. And what ended up happening is something that we call community kitchen. So it's garden members getting together using a couple ingredients from their own gardens, things like malunggay or chilies or whatever they have, and cooking a meal. So we did about 5 of those, 5 community kitchens over the course of a few I think 2 months, specifically with the victims who lost their homes and were living all under a covered basketball court at our barangay hall, or like local government hall. And it was amazing. It was amazing to see. We kept everything vegetarian for a couple of reasons. One of them is that vegetarian food will last longer in the heat if there isn't any refrigeration, which nobody had. And we really tried to focus on keeping things as eco-friendly as possible. So not using, plastic plates, plastic cups, and things like that, but really asking families if they have any container, if they need a container, to use their containers. And that was also helpful because families whose, maybe one person was working during the day, they were able to also store food for when they came back or were, got back off work. So it was really an amazing way to see the community come together after such a tragedy. And it was really driven mostly by our garden members who wanted to do something. So there was this also empowerment that happened with our community and with our garden members who now are becoming, providers and a source of, immediate relief and kind of long-term relief and friendship as well, which is a huge component in such a tragedy. So we're very excited about that and to see that happen.
Just to add to the vegetarian component, is we also heard that the assistance the food assistance that they were receiving were canned sardines and meat. So they were also delighted to have a well-balanced, nutritional, rich meal with mungo beans and calabasa and all these nutrients. So that was another thing, that they were just receiving canned meat. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, also part of our health message and part of our ethos, like our whole terminology, eat gulay for buhay. It really means, eat vegetables for life. And we just want to continue ingraining that in the communities we're working with as well. So, moving on to our Eco Wings program. This program we've really just seen so much growth in this year. We were planning and looking for partnerships, so we have really been focusing on finding sellers for our Eco Wings, and as Lou mentioned earlier, selling them in the buy one give one way. And we're so excited to have 5 stores now working with us on selling our Eco Wing sets, and you can see in the picture how beautiful our packaging is. We're very proud of that. We've also expanded to what we call Eco Rounds. So these are kind of small face toner, reusable face toner wipes or facial wipes, which is exciting, and that's using all the leftover materials that we have from the Eco Wings. And we've also been working on the distribution part, so as well as the sales and really getting that program sustainable through the sales of the product. We've also been working on the distributions of the product, as Elizabeth mentioned earlier, and getting it to women and girls who otherwise really don't have access. There's this something that I've talked about a couple of times recently through different lectures and series with children, but Amanda taught me something that the average quantity of menstrual pads one woman will use in her lifetime is about 10,000, which is such a startling number for me. So just using these environmentally friendly pads, we're really reducing so much waste that otherwise, would just be going into our landfills or our oceans, and creating disease and other problems in communities where there really isn't an effective trash system. So we're really passionate about this program and excited to see it grow. Also, our teams have taken their first talent development training course this year, which has been a really cool initiative. And we really want to see the education side of things, so taking, speaking classes and sales classes and other class opportunities for all of the women in our program. We really want to see that grow as well, as we work to get this program out from under Project Propel and into its own kind of micro enterprise.
Yeah, exactly.
That being said, I just wanted to read to you this year. We wanted to also connect our women from our programs to our donors, to you. And we were talking about gratitude in the office a lot, and we asked some of our women if they would be interested in writing a little note, handwritten, to our donors that we could send in the mail for the holiday season. And something we've done in the past, the three of us, and we thought it would be fun to kind of make a day or two of it in the office. We were really suggesting like happy holidays from so and so, and a lot of our women said, I'd really like to take these home and really think about them, and they poured their heart and soul into some of these notes and some of these letters to our donors, and it was a very moving thing. So I want to read to you what this is. Mercy, she's part of our Eco Wings program, and she's also part of our Urban Barangay Gardens program. And I'd just like to read to you a note that she wrote specifically to you, our donors. Dear Sir, Ma'am, good day. I am thankful you are one of the generous sponsors of Eco Wings and Eco Rounds with Project Propel. I am happy as a member of Project Propel. I join also the Eco Wing and Eco Round livelihood. This is my very first time job of my life. I'm 67 years old. Being a widow, it is an opportunity and a big help to me raising up my 4 grandchildren. I hope you will not stop to support this project. Thank you very much. Truly yours, Mercida Lumanog. It's just a little bit of a thank you from us to you.
Yeah, so
It was really moving how they wanted to take them all home and give proper time for the thank you. That was something that Roberta suggested, and they ran with it. They were asking for more and more cards to write the donor community. It was very sweet.
yeah, so just goes to show that every little donation, every dollar is really making a huge impact in people's lives. If I can take it from there, I know we've had such a heartfelt story from Roberta, but just to show you how our organization is growing and has grown in the past 3 years. From 2015, having an income of donations around $10,000 to last year up to $40,000. Most of these have come from private donations and from our family, our donor family and our donor community, and we're just so grateful for each dollar that comes in. We've also been very fortunate to receive funds from a Rotary Club, a Rotaract Club, a couple of school fundraisers, a family foundation, and a legacy gift as well. So those have really helped propel this organization and grow each year. So our plan for 2019, and we're reaching the end of 2019 now, just to put it into a little bit of perspective, what we had set, we do a strategic plan every year. And last year, we looked at what we had raised and our goal for raising money for this year. So we set a goal of $100,000 US with an operating budget of $70,000. And we talked about this in our last web call with some of our donors. Currently, so we're not really meeting that goal. We're operating at less than half of this with the same ratios by program, by management, fundraising, etc. Same ratios, but the dollar amounts are really less than half of this. This goes to say that in most NGOs, most of the fundraising happens at the end of the year. So we're really, looking to push forward still towards our goal of 100,000. And we believe we can do it with, our committed donors and our network with help from anybody that we can get, just by engaging our networks and getting updates out, and appeals. Should I talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, why do we need $100,000? Project Propel is about to basically, we want it to grow. We've gotten to this point and we are ready to hire full-time local support. We have our 5 Eco Wings staff who are part-time. They come in 2 times a day, half day each. And now we have hired a part-time program assistant. There's just 3 of us here, which are really volunteer-based. And we put in our efforts sometimes early in the morning, late at night, but we love doing it. It's a joy to us. But it is time for us to hire, full-time local support. We have the legal status to do so, which has taken a lot of work. We want to ensure that our programs are self-sustainable next year through all of our local partnerships. As Roberta said before, the barangays are taking ownership of the gardens, and that's a really good sign. And it includes the Eco Wings program, which has been such a help for these women, and we really want to see it grow and become a self-sustainable enterprise for them. That may happen this year, but next year, but we're definitely wanting it to happen within the next few years, that becomes its own business. Next year, we also plan to package programs so they can be replicated either in other areas of the Philippines by other people, or in other countries. So depending on the grants that we put out there, this could go one way or the other. But we do want to grow, and we will grow. We want to, and we have submitted a grant to expand specifically in the area of mobile clinics for women's health. Elizabeth, if you want to talk a little bit about this.
Expanding into like mobile clinics, is that where we are?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the main reason I'm here in Nepal is I've been shadow after Nepal Health International's initiative and birthing centers and clinics that are targeted towards maternal child health. And it's been an eye-opening experience, but I've also seen a lot of parallels between the 2 countries, between Nepal and the Philippines. And I've been able to glean from their models. But what we're trying to do is, one of the original ideas with the mobile Medicabs back is making health more accessible. And in that journey, we've had a lot of open discussions with women, talking about women's health and topics that you really have just with women. And we are really pushing forward. Right before I came on this trip, we finished a proposal for a mobile women's health clinic. And essentially this would be for mostly indigenous tribes that would be on a rotation and target women's health issues, regular screening for cervical cancer, breast cancer, have abilities for emergency birthing, and making health more accessible for these really remote areas. This is really important. I look forward to seeing how this can lay out. But when I return to Manila, one of the first things I do is make a meeting with ADRA Philippines, perhaps LDS Charities. I think that there's a lot of power in partnerships. I've learned that. That's one thing I've been learning from this trip is partnerships. But I would like for us to take on something a bit larger and create a sustainable vehicle as well. That was part of the proposal is making a vehicle that's also environmentally friendly, that can do rounds and reach women's health issues.
Thank you. So just to finish with our 2020 goals, we also want to just begin discussions, as we package our programs, to begin discussions for operations out of the Philippines. And as I said, it all depends on funding. right? We are very reliant on our private donors and family foundations, and we have submitted 5 grants this year. We're still waiting to hear from one, but we haven't gotten any in yet. We submitted 6 last year and we got one in. So we're trying to kind of reevaluate our grant making strategy, and focus primarily on 2 programs, which are like the urban gardening or agriculture livelihood programs and the eco wings. And hopefully we'll start seeing those funds coming in as we get more grants written and we expand our donor network. Do you want to step in? Or?
Yeah, yeah.
Add to that.
Okay.
Just to add to that is yesterday I was meeting with a woman and I was in her shop and she had her sewing machine and I gave her an eco wing and they were just in awe of it. They thought it was brilliant. They loved it. And her husband runs a women's center that ironically I volunteered at on the weekends 15 years ago. And it's women that are mostly widowed and they're struggling to find financial means themselves. And so there's a community here and there's a team of skilled women. And I asked the woman, I said, would you be able to replicate this if we thought of you? And she says confidently, you show me once and I will know it and I'll be able to teach it. And so it's really needed in Nepal, and she's eager and willing to teach the eco wings, and there's a fair trade system already in place. It's really a matter of funding. Like if we had funding in place, Amanda has gone step by step with the eco wings team, so that we can readily teach it to another community, whether it's in the Philippines or outside the Philippines. But we're really ready to share it, and so it's just all it is a matter of funding. If we have the proper funds in place, we can do more and more. And I think that we're all very eager to expand.
Absolutely, absolutely, and not just expand the program for as a micro enterprise, but also the outcome of the program. Like these eco wings are so helpful in so many ways. Menstrual hygiene is still very stigmatized around the world. In many areas, there's still a lot of practices that are very harmful to young girls and to women. So really coupling it with the education that we are really passionate about is hugely important. So there's the livelihood aspect and the micro enterprise aspect, and really investing in a community financially through this business. But there's that other aspect of really providing menstrual health and hygiene information, access. This is one of the biggest reasons girls drop out of school globally, is when they get their periods because of lack of access and other problems. So it's a really cool program, and we really want to see that grow. And one way to do that is to increase our monthly donors. We're gonna go right into that. One of the things about, and I know that there's any donations and any help that we receive is huge, but monthly donors really help us budget and create a reliable source of income for us every month. That is super necessary, especially when we're seeing programs like this that do have pretty steady monthly costs and things as we grow and expand, and we want to add additional components like education and training sessions and things like that. That steady income is very important to us. So that's one of the big things we're looking for. If you or anybody is asking, hey, how can we help? How can we invest in these programs? And the second thing that we're really looking for this year is finding an angel donor. So this has been helpful in the past for us. It's a big donor who says we want to match the funds that are coming in for the end of the year. This is a big push for fundraising. A lot of organizations do it at year end, and we've seen it be very helpful for us as well. So, finding that angel donor who's willing to be that partner for us this year is also one of our goals and one of the things we're looking for, and reaching out to our community of Project Propel family and donors to ask for it. And then also any help in the form of guidance, volunteering, expanding partnerships, ideas, or even just feedback is really helpful for us. Pretty much all year round, but especially at this giving season. I guess we can open it up to any kind of questions or comments, and we'll just end our giving and goals conversation with this quote: "Giving is not just about making a donation; it's about making a difference." And we can definitely say, all three of us here in the field, that we can see the difference that the donations and the support are making, and we're seeing it every day, and we want to really thank you for that.